Hey everybody, it's B Diz the Rockstar, part of Super Obvious. In this video, we're talking about the beef between Drake and Kendrick Lamar. Let's go. So, if you know my channel, you know I make content about scary movies, TV shows, gaming, and my dark music production. I usually don't do videos like this, but this topic is something that's been so big, I have to contribute my part and talk about it. I've always liked Drake, ever since his Best I Ever Had song that came out back in 2009, when he had all the big boob girls running around playing basketball. The whole rap sing combo thing has been kind of done before Drake, but he took it to a whole new level to where anybody doing it after him, quote unquote, pretty much sounds like Drake. Drake killing hooks like Forever, and Maybe She Will, and in Forever, Drake had some crazy bars talking about knowing G4 pilots on a first name basis, how he is swimming in the money, and how he blew up when he didn't even have a record deal. And that video has over 387 million views, by the way. Drake has been one of my favorite artists since he came out, especially during those times when him, Lil Wayne, Rick Ross, and others kind of had this circle and they would just drop bangers all the time. But then, we started having all the BS happen. Drake beefed with Pusha T, where he was exposed of having a son that we didn't know. He beefed with Meek Mill, where he got exposed for having a ghostwriter, meaning he is a rapper that doesn't write his own raps, which is something the die-hard hip-hop community won't respect. Because being a rapper that has bars that are clever and entertaining is kind of like your job. And if you don't do that, it's like, well, what do you actually do? Drake has been a culture vulture for at least a decade and was known for jocking other people's swag. He will do a song with them just to ride their wave or sign them because they have a certain sound that he can use and pretty much suck the life out of the artist and leave them with nothing. Oh, there's also Drake smashing Lil Wayne's girl when he was locked up, which violates the bro code. Also, Drake using AI to sound like Tupac and Snoop as a way to bait Kendrick into rushing him to respond to his disses, because Drake was all about having Kendrick respond to making it seem like Kendrick was ducking him and he didn't want no beef, and to make it seem like in some kind of way that Tupac and Snoop was backing him. But not long after that, Kendrick flipped the whole narrative upside down. And again, Drake looked lame because people on the West Coast thought Drake using AI to sound like West Coast hip-hop legends was a lame way to control the narrative, and he didn't get permission to sound like these artists. Snoop Dogg didn't like it, all of Tupac's people didn't like it, and Drake didn't really think it through since Snoop had already given Kendrick the torch that he is the man to represent the West Coast and hold it down. We of course have the They Not Like Us diss to Drake that got like over 20 million views or something in the first 24 hours, and as of making this video, it has over 130 million views and it's only been out for 2 months, with 1 million subliminal diss references in it. Also, the song where Kendrick performed and the crowd basically rapped the whole song for him. Drake supposedly shut down Schoolboy Q's show in Toronto. Side note, before a lot of this, Drake's Started From the Bottom song got criticism because he didn't start from the bottom. He was an actor in a show and was basically set and famous since he was like a teenager. We had Rick Ross joking him, calling him white, and how he got a nose job, and how he needs to make sure he listens to his mommy and be home before curfew. And this is someone who has done a bunch of songs with Drake, so him dissing him kinda adds to the list of all the stuff I'm talking about. So the Super Bowl this year will be in New Orleans, which is where Lil Wayne is from. But Kendrick Lamar will be the performer for the halftime show, which has made fans of course confused and complaining like little girls. Again. Because it seems like a no-brainer that Wayne would have that spot because that's where he's from. I swear, it would be so crazy if Kendrick performs Not Like Us at the Super Bowl. Which I hope he does. Duh. Imagine all those Super Bowl fans all confused during halftime and someone has to tell them like, hey, football dude, there's this music thing called hip-hop and within it are artists, and these artists make words rhyme, sometimes, and they talk a bunch of shit, and that's like all they do. That's their job. I think the main thing that hip-hop fans that understand the culture for the Super Bowl halftime show is, will Kendrick perform Not Like Us during this spot? I like the hip-hop beef and feel like there couldn't be a bigger stage for K-Dot to do this song dissing Drake to where like a 500 million with a B, people are going to see it, and all the social media stuff that goes on after. Especially with the lyrics, with people that stay with him that are registered for SA, all the talks that Drake is a pedo, and so much evidence of him being around minors, which is sketch. And looking back at the lyrics of a lot of the songs, which are red flags, but in context, it kind of went over our heads at the time. If the whole stadium does this song and the fans rap his lyrics knowing this is a Drake beef with all the bad allegations towards him, I feel like this is something that will ruin Drake. There's beefs that happen in hip hop all the time. That's how it goes. But the kind of stuff that Drake is being burnt on right now is something that really won't go away over time. Like Drake could lose endorsements, a lot of artists that won't want to work with him because his name could tarnish them, along with him being exposed for sucking talent out of people and doesn't even write his own raps. It's kinda looking pretty bad for Drake, dude. If Kendrick has a bunch of backup dancers, I definitely want them walking like they did in the video. That would be dope. We have the top 3 being Drake, Kendrick, and Cole. People mad at Cole for backstepping out of this whole thing. In my opinion, yeah, it does make you look a little iffy with your credibility, but also, it's like Cole probably knew how big this K-Dot and Drake thing was going to be and really didn't want any part of it. Because honestly, in my opinion, this K-Dot and Drake beef has been the biggest thing in hip hop in over a decade for sure. That whole Drake on stage with that girl he was kissing that was underage was sketch. Drake having connects with females that aren't adults yet, which is sketch. It's just a whole bunch of stuff that's sketch. I feel like Drake won't be able to make the same R&B song type stuff like he used to without getting trolled. We're gonna be like, so Drake, how old was the girl in this one? This stuff going on with Drake is the main thing in hip hop right now. That and all the really bad stuff with P. Diddy. When I was in college, I really liked the Kendrick Lamar Swimming Pool song. If you're in college and you drink, so that was like the anthem. And his verse on Control, where he dissed like everybody, which sparked the competitive nature of hip hop in a way which we hadn't seen in like forever. Kendrick put that verse out a long time ago, so for now, it's kind of like everything is going full circle. The fact that Drake is one of the biggest artists in the world, and he could be destroyed so bad that his career could be over, is such a crazy thing to think about. Drake's the kind of guy to get in his feelings when an underage female doesn't answer his DMs. Kendrick is the kind of guy to be right behind you in the mirror when you close your bathroom cabinet. On Google, when you search most popular artists, Drake is number 3, and Kendrick isn't even on the list. When you look up most popular rappers in America, Kendrick is number 1, and Drake isn't even on the list. There's a bunch of trash female rappers after K-Dot, such as Nicki Minaj, Doja Cat, Megan Thee Stallion, Ice Spice, and Sexy Red. When you look up the best rappers in 2024, Kendrick is number 1 and Drake is number 17. Let's talk more about numbers. As of mid-July, K-Dot went from having less than 55 million streams to having over 74.1 million streams, beating Drake, who had 74 million. Not like us, super squashed Drake's God's Plan, becoming the fastest rap song to reach 500 million streams, with a B in Spotify history. Side note, the burger spot Kendrick and Mustard were in during the Not Like Us video had made the business go up over 40% since the video dropped, and they get free food for life, which is awesome. Like I said before, the main thing I'm waiting for is to see how the Super Bowl performance goes and how much bigger Kendrick gets and how much more damaging this can be for Drake's career. I can't wait for the reaction from the crowd when the Not Like Us song drops and the whole stadium is basically saying F Drake, and it's going to be viewed by millions of people. But yeah, that's the video. Let me know in the comments how you feel about the Kendrick and Drake beef. Who do you feel is winning this at this point overall? Are you stoked to see how the Super Bowl performance is going to go? Do you think Drake's career is pretty much over, or will he be able to make a comeback and pretty much rule the hip hop game like he did for so many years? Like and share the video, subscribe. Let me know in the comments if you want me to start making more videos like this, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Totally for sure.